All right, we'll talk about open houses. So there's 5 things we're going to do with open houses, right? And there's other things I'm actually going a little bit forward. We'll go back to door knocking and invitation call. The first thing you want to do is put as many signs as you can out. Now, I just told you I love Keller Williams. I don't love them that much to put out 20 signs to advertise for Keller Williams. I put out 20 signs so I can advertise for Jim McGill. So I would suggest when you have some extra money after you've had a sale or two to get your directionals personalized. It's going to have Keller Williams on there, but I want them to see Jim McGill. I want them to think Jim McGill has, you know, I keep driving around. It's only one home, but I got 20 signs out if it's possible. And they keep saying Jim McGill, and Jim McGill must be the expert in this area because everywhere I look, Jim McGill signs out. If they just say Keller Williams, it doesn't help you. So when you get your first sale, maybe put a couple dollars away. They don't cost that much. 20 signs may be a little hard in our area, but the point is put as many as you can out. Okay? Number 2, the number 1 goal is to set an appointment. So you do want to sell that house, right? You have an open house, you want to sell the house, but you want to set an appointment. People come in, you want to introduce yourself. You want to make them sign in. In Command, we have a platform. You can set up a opportunity where they come in, they go onto your computer, they put their name, phone number, and address. Now you've captured that information. And I'm going to show you that now, how you do that in Command. It's a little glitch, of course. When we tried it this morning, me and Matt, somehow they've added a region as a drop down, and because they added that, yeah, in a minute. And now that they added that, we can't seem to, well, you can see it, how it works. I want to show you a quick video. Yeah, sometimes Command gets me a little. It's always a work in progress.
With a landing page inside of Command that you can use and you do a open.
So this is a quick video on how to create that landing page.
In this video, we're going to show you how you can do a open house registration with a landing page inside of Command that you can use in your open house flyers through either a QR code or a link that you text people saying click here to register. So first thing I did is I came into Command and went to the Consumer tab. From here, you're going to notice there's a whole section of landing pages. I've already created one, so if you want to see a sample of what one's going to look like, here will be the header, welcome to our open house, please sign in. Down below will be all the details of the home. So this is the kind of page we're going to be creating. So we're going to come over to create a new page and choose a landing page. A landing page is a standalone page, not on your website, that just stands by itself. The great thing is you can do this for properties that have come on the market because they will stay on that website even if they've sold or went under contract. Since some MLS agreements will take the property off your website, this is a way to have that listing survive after. So while this is a video on how to do a landing page for an open house, it's also a video on how to just do a landing page for a property if you want to lead generate and have people go to this page to get details about it. So I'm going to say create page. When this comes up, I have the ability first to name it. So I like to name it for the address. So I've already got a tab open. This is the open house that I'm doing. So I can put this address in, and that's kind of what I'm going to name it as. So I'll go ahead and put that in as the address, and I can say open house. Perfect. Now I'm going to put some stuff here, and on the right you've got widgets. So I start with the branded header because that's where I can say like welcome to this open house with my branding on it. Next, I'm going to do the lead form. I want to capture their information, so I'm going to click over a lead form. Don't worry, it says interested, let's talk. We're going to change it to welcome to our open house. Please sign in. Down below, I'm now going to add the listing itself, so I can drag and drop the listing over here, and we're going to be able to configure it to the listing that I had chosen. And then at the bottom, I like to throw in things either about your local expert, you can do a market snap. I like to promote my app, so I'm actually going to go ahead and grab the download my app link and have that at the bottom because that's another great way that they can reach me. Perfect, those are the 3 widgets I'm going to use. You can add more if you want. but let's make it as simple as possible for them,
Matt is
right?
going to go
So I'm
over
going
this
to click
next.
configure widgets. This is where you get to actually label everything. So I start with the header. Now I can put in the header of welcome. You only have a few characters, let me rephrase that. So I might just put the address, 3909 Northeast 21st Avenue, number 4, open house. Perfect. Oh, I didn't fit it in, so we'll just leave that out. I've already got my picture, my branding, my number, my information, and my team logo in the header. Save that one. There we go. So now it's already got the address. I click the next button. Now we replace the header. So instead of interested, let's talk, welcome to our open house. Please sign in below. Perfect. Save and apply. Now that form is done. Welcome to our open house. Please sign in below. Next button. Now I get to choose the listing. So we're going to browse listings. And it allows you to search for any listing in America. So I'm going to say 3909 Northeast 21st Avenue, number 4. Okay, and here it is. This is the one. So I'm going to select this one. Now it lets me pick what is my main image. So looking at all these, maybe I want it to be the main view, maybe I want it to be outside the unit. I'm going to leave it as the first image, or you can update your own custom image. Save and apply, and now that has updated my widget on the left to have my information, please sign in, and all the details about the property below. So here's the information, here's the photos, there's the details. So it's their ability to walk around, get to know more about the property. So great, save and apply that one. Click my next button, and the last widget is download my app, which is already pre-filled in for me. So I can see download my app and search. Leave it like that. I can add some more information if I want. Download button, save and apply, and that's done as well. Now that would be for those widgets. I could hit done. You could also add stuff like a market snap or a local expert and highlight some additional information. For this, I'm just keeping it simple. Once I'm all done with this, I would have the ability to publish the page or save it. Now, I will share under content blocks. You can add your own images if you want and your own text if you want to embed a video. You could use the text box to embed a YouTube video, things like that, which is a little more detailed. The simple story is if you add a text box, go to YouTube and share the embed code and just copy and paste the link in, and that will put the video in there. Come to the widgets, add any of these that you want, and then when you're done, it's your ability to publish this page. Are you sure you want to publish it? Make it visible to others. Yes. Now, it's not visible to anybody unless you share the link. So that just publishes it. This is the link that's going to view the page. So if I click the link, here is the information that's going to pop up. So welcome to the open house. Please sign in below. Here's the details about the property like we talked about, and download my app. And I can just share this either by texting it to somebody. I like to use shorter links, so I might use a service like Bitly, which takes a long link and makes it shorter. So Control V there. Shorten, copy this link. Now this link will work, so I can use that link. Perfect, so that link would work. I can also do a generate QR code. There's a bunch of them out there that can make one. And I can just pick any of them, it doesn't matter which one, whatever's free. So I'm just going to paste the link here. That is now making a QR code, and now I can save that and just download it as a picture and add this to one of my open house flyers. So welcome to the open house, scan this QR code and please sign in. That QR code is going to take them to this page to register. And that's how they're going to come into my command. Now, you're going to have to go in and tag them really quick. Soon we'll have the ability to add tag.
So for us, for open houses, we're using this to capture. So you don't need all of that stuff. But when they come in, this is what you want them to sign in. Once they sign in here, it goes right to command. So you don't have to then go, if they write it in, then you have to go type everything back in. This puts it right in command. And then when you're done your open house, you can do a short video. Thank you for coming to 123 Main Street. You're standing out front. You search those 8 people that came in, you click the buttons and send it all at once so they all get it. Okay, so it's not for the things, there's many uses for it, but for me, it captures everyone that comes into the open house. There's services you can pay to do that, but we can do it in Command. Every day, Command gets a little better, so just be patient. Once they send, at the end, they'll hit "I'm not a robot," they'll save it, you'll get a text right on your phone. That's the part that's not working today. So I can't show you that part. For some reason, it's just not working. But anyway, let's get back to the open house. So the number one goal is to set an appointment. People come in, you want to introduce yourself. You want to engage in a conversation, and you want to engage with that conversation until you've determined whether you can set an appointment with that person or not. I don't care who else comes in. Pope can come in, president, ignore them. You're engaging in a conversation. Don't stop that conversation until you realize you're setting an appointment or that you're not setting an appointment. If you're not setting an appointment, you move on, try to gain something. The objective is to get one person for every open house. Here's a script you can use to a seller. Someone comes in, they have some conversations with you that you realize that they may eventually want to sell their house. That's the purpose of coming in. They want to get the value of the home. So I got a little script here. Just tell them, hi, I don't mind doing this, but after the open house, how about I swing by your house, I'll take a look at the house and give you a realistic idea as to the value and how quick we can sell it. How does that sound? If they say no, say, well, how's Monday at 12 or 5? Try to set an appointment as best you can. If they're buyers, it's different. You have to talk to them, find out what they're interested in. So when they're looking through the house, if you see that they're really interested in the kitchen, they're interested in 3 bedrooms, single family home, you also can try to set an appointment. There you want to say something like, oh my gosh, I have a perfect home for you. Do you want to see it after the open house? If they say no, say, how about Monday, 4 o'clock, or whatever other time. Now, what do you have to do if you were to say that? What do you have to know? You have to know the inventory. They come in, they tell you they want a 3-bedroom house in Springfield with an open concept, and you use that script, and you have nowhere to take them, right? So the objective is, you better know your area. You better at least once a week go out and see everything that's out there. Don't, especially now as new agents, you have a lot of free time. Go out there, try to see what's out there, know it, memorize it, know how many houses are available in a specific area. If you're doing home in Springfield, you want to know how many houses are available, what the median price is. So you want to do all that. Number 3, only talk to one person at a time. Don't get distracted. I don't care who else walks in. I already went over that. If this is your sole means of prospecting, right? It is sweat equity. It doesn't cost you anything. I would do, especially as a new agent, I would do as many open houses as you can. Just like when you buy a house. If you were to flip a house and you didn't have a whole lot of money, the only way to do it is to use your sweat equity. As a new agent, you have all the sweat equity. You have the time. You may not have the means financially at this point. So use your time. Do 10 open houses a week. I mean, there's no reason you can't do 2 on a Saturday and 2 on a Sunday. You can do them during the week if you want. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I do Thursday open houses and Sunday open houses. But utilize your time because it doesn't cost you anything. Excuse me. Again, be an expert in your area. They come in, you want to impress the potential buyer or seller. If you seem like you're lumbering and you don't know, they probably won't ask you to see their house. So really look into it before you do an open house. If you're doing Springfield, go in there, see how many houses are on the market right now. Like Springfield, I know Springfield, for the last month, the average price was about $410,000. Ridley was about I just looked it up the other day, 360. Maybe a little less for Ridley. But know those kind of things. Know how many houses are on the market. I know today in Springfield, because I applied, there's 22 houses on the market today in Springfield. I'm not sure how many in Ridley, but I have an appointment today in Springfield, so I looked it up this morning. Those things you have to know. I'm going to show you a video. It's about a mega open house. It's from a guy named Tom Ferry. He's an international trainer. I was at Century 21 where they didn't have training like we have here, so I paid $900 a month to have a coach. And this was one of the best things they gave me. One of the best things they gave me was this one video. I wouldn't expect anyone to do that now. We have enough training in Keller Williams. YouTube is a huge asset for all of you. As much as Keller Williams gives you. I was up this morning at 4 o'clock. I watched 3 videos on YouTube about real estate. I do it every day. There's a wealth of knowledge out there. Look into it. But Tom Ferry does this mega open houses on Thursdays. So I always flyer neighbors when I do an open house. Not just on Thursdays. I do it for every open house I do. I would never waste my time and just put signs out and hope people show up. I would just be wasting my time. So you'll see how he does Thursdays. I do this for every open house. Let's see to that.
Over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best selling, marketing, and business building strategies to keep your business thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, episode 62. Today, we're talking about arguably the hottest topic, which is how do we generate more listing opportunities from your mega open houses. So the National Association of Realtors declares this is like the open house month. Now, you and I both know there's 2 ways to do open houses. The sort of traditional way where I hope and pray to the real estate god that somebody shows up. And you know this strategy. You know, we put an ad in the local, newspaper, maybe through our company, and we hope and pray by putting out 2 or 3 signs that maybe, just maybe, somebody will show up, versus the Tom Ferry strategy, the mega open house, where I say, I know that this home is going to sell, whether it's right now or in the very near future. And when it does, there is going to be a tremendous number of listing opportunities right inside that community. And I want to turn like the vacuum cleaner on and suck all the listing opportunities out of the marketplace before anybody else gets a shot. So we do a mega open house. So to do that, we have basically the obvious event. So it might be 11:30 until 1 o'clock, and then the traditional open house goes from 1 until 4. During that time, we're going to invite all of the neighbors and all the people in your database, maybe all your best buyer leads, to come and join you, whether it's for lunch or a lemonade. If you're my clients in Germany, it could be a beer. Like, it's entirely up to you. My clients in Australia, they're like, we're going to do these like on Thursday night from 5 to 7 and serve like wine. Like, I love it. It's entirely up to you. If you saw last year's Tomax with Kyle Whistle, I think his topic was like beers and open houses and the after party of like an open house. It's crazy. But what we know is this. Just like a broker preview, if you want agents to show up, you serve food, you got some refreshments that when they show up, like it's the experience of see the house, get a bite, and then get on to the next one, but get to know the market. The same rule applies in inviting the neighbors. So we're going to talk about 5 ways to drive traffic, mostly from the neighborhood and then to the avatar ideal buyer you're looking to attract. We're going to talk about 5 easy questions that you should be asking every person that walks through, and then 2 really cool bonus tips, things that our top clients are doing, our great coaches are doing, to not only make people as they're walking into this environment feel more comfortable, but also a way to capture potential seller leads or just capture leads in general. So let's go through it together, right? 5 traffic, 5 easy questions, and 2 cool bonus tips. So let's talk traffic first and foremost. What we know is today, I mean, look, I know I'm walking out of the camera here. Like, we gotta get them here, right? You gotta get them here. What's up, JD Leonard, by the way, for sending me a text. So how am I gonna get the local buyers in my marketplace and potentially the neighbors in the marketplace to know about this house digitally? Well, what we know is first, record a short form video. And it could just be something as simple as this. You standing in front of the house saying, "Hi, it's Tom Ferry with Banana Real Estate, and I just listed this beautiful home right here at the corner of Hama Hama and Nana Nana. If you know anything about this community, this home is going to sell, and it's going to sell quickly because right here next to school A or B, or shopping of X and Z and 43 Starbucks, this charming 3-bedroom, 2-bath, hasn't been on the market for almost 15 years, and it won't be on for long." I'm holding it open this weekend, both for the neighbors as well as the general public, between 11:30 and 1 for lunch, and then 1 to 4. If you'd like to join us, please let us know. Boom! And I shoot that simple little video, and then what am I going to do? I'm going to email that to my database. So, let's say the mega open house is on a Saturday. It could be Friday afternoon, it could be Saturday, it could be Sunday. It's entirely up to you. You're going to send that at least 48 hours before to say, come join us. You're going to check your open rates. You're going to know how many people opened it. Are you going to ask them to make a reservation for lunch? Probably not. Just, hey, hit reply and let me know if you're going to join us. And you'll get a bunch of people that'll say, hey, sounds great. No, we're not interested. It's all good. What we want, though, is exposure, and specifically like our database and all the buyers you're currently working with that are looking for properties to know about this house. Number 2, I want to do a Facebook boost, like from your page, or you can actually run an ad. Either one is fine. I would be more inclined to run the ad because I want to do a Facebook targeted campaign to the specific avatar of buyers in that zip code. So let's say I'm in Corona Del Mar, and I'm in property in the Flower Streets, right, in the village. And I say, so who buys in the village? Well, generally speaking, they're single people or they're couples. They're 45 years old. They make $200,000 a year. Well, you know that on Facebook, I can go in and say the only people I want to see this live in these zip codes already, live in these areas already, make this kind of money. Single, married, kids, whatever you want, it's all there available. My point is, you can target advertise specifically for 3 or 4 days before the open house, letting those people know that would be the avatar, the ideal prospect about this open house. I like that one a lot. Now, number 3, I want to door knock and invite the neighbors. So Sarah's going to grab a piece of paper over here, my little top secret folder, and I want you to imagine this. It's Thursday or Friday before. Knock, knock, knock. So knock, knock, knock. Hi, and I immediately hand them the flyer. I hand them the flyer. Ideally, price big, photo of the house, price big. Hi, my name is Tom Ferry with Banana Real Estate. I hand them the flyer and say, I just listed your neighbor's home. It's hitting the market this weekend. We're going to hold our first open house, and I'm inviting all the neighbors to come by and see the home before anybody else. Say goodbye to your neighbors and join us for lunch. Would you like to come with us? That's it. Just, would you like to come with us? I can think of the number of times that I've taught this in a seminar, and as people come back and say, oh, Tom, I've done that mega open house, and when I go out and I knock on the doors and I invite the neighbors, the neighbors love it, right? They like, oh, we can see the house before everybody else. Oh, we're going to have lunch. Can I bring my family? Like, the answer is yes. Come one, come all, and you'll see why in a minute. And then more importantly, they start saying, well, is that really going to sell for that? And how much is my home worth? Can you come in and take a look around? These are the opportunities. Remember I said to you, when you mega open houses, because we want to suck like a vacuum cleaner all of the opportunities, the listing opportunities around that property before anybody else is even thinking about it. And this is your shot. So I'm going to door knock and invite the neighbors. I'm going to put out 20 to 30 signs. Now I know for my clients in New York City and La Jolla and Aspen, they're like pulling their hair out because there's no signs, it's vertical living. If you can put out 20 to 30 signs, put out 20 to 30 signs. If you're limited to 2 or 3, put out your 2 or 3. The point is this: if you don't have the limitation, here, don't have the limitation be the resource of I don't have enough signs, get more signs. I mean, what is the worst case scenario? You have 30 signs in the marketplace and somebody says, I see your signs everywhere. You're like, oh, darn it, I was trying to be a secret agent. I didn't want anybody to know. You want your signs everywhere. It's a really smart move. So 20 to 30 signs, and then obviously, if there's any company advertising that you can do, being a part of their promotion is always a good idea as well. Now here's my point. Video. Email it out to everybody, all my leads, my entire database, Facebook boost, advertise it to people that are in that zip code or to your ideal avatar buyer. I like that one a lot. Remember, we talked about that on the listing presentation as a degree of separation. Like, I got the listing because I said, I know who's going to buy this house and I know how to reach them on Facebook. That's a good thing. Door knock, 20 to 30 signs, company advertising, and guess what? Between 11:30 and 1 o'clock, you're going to be busy. Busy. Now, people say to me, well, how much food do I get? I don't know. Enough. Have you ever been to a party where the food ran out? I have. I've thrown that party. And yeah, it's a bad thing, but at the end of the day, no one really cares. Have enough food. Well, what if I have a bunch of extra food? I don't know. Donate it to people. Give it away to people that need food. Take it home. I don't care. Don't make that the issue, right? Don't worry about how much food. It's about having an experience when people walk in and they go, wow. Because what they're doing is they're judging you and they're interviewing you based on how you set the experience up. And that's the game with these mega open houses. So let's go to some questions. Ready? Easy questions you should be asking every person when you meet them. Ready? So, how long have you been searching for a home? Sarah, how long have you been searching for a home? Whoa, for like a month and a half. New in the process. 3 years, right? You know the range of people, but I want to know this. I also want to know, what sites have you been going to? Oh, we've been all over Trulia. We like Redfin. I've got an agent that's sending me this MLS now. When you start hearing someone tell you that they're looking at all these sites and they've got agents, would you say that their level of desire is higher or lower? Would you say that they're newer in the process or pretty advanced in the process? You and I both know the answer. This is a great qualifying question. Then I want to ask number 3, so have you found your ideal house? Right? Have you found your ideal house? Now, it's not on there, but when they say no, what do we ask? Well, can you tell me about your ideal house? And that's when you pull out your business card and you say, tell me about your ideal house. You want 4 bedrooms, you want 8,000 square feet, you ideally like a pool, you want it to be near the park, you put everything that they want, right? Because that then leads me to, I see a lot of homes before they hit the market. Are you interested in knowing about these properties that are maybe off market or before they hit the market? Does that have interest to you? Now, what happens in that moment? They go, well, yeah, of course I'm interested, right? It's a great little hook. And you're probably already using this, I know, but maybe the 20% of you that have it, this is the game changer when you're sitting there. And then you ask the last question, by the way, do you guys need to sell a house before you buy the next one? Do you need to sell a home before you buy the next one? And in that case, again, I'm trying to figure out, just like with my neighbors, which I'm going to come back to in a minute, the general public, when they're walking through, I want to know all of this. Now, let's talk about the neighbors for a second. I know, like in the old days, I said to people, we should do open houses. Oh, God, no, I don't like open houses. They have the looky-loo neighbors there. That was always in the looky-loo neighbors that want to walk around and say, like, well, did you know that their grandmother died in the bathroom? Like, is that going to be on the, like, you hear all that stuff, or they walk through and they go, oh my God, look at this place. Or they say, hey, is this really going to sell for? See, I embrace the sellers. I tell my clients, no, you want the neighbors coming in and asking you all these questions. You want to warm them up, have some lunch, do some Q&A, find out what's going on, and when you're there, what's your intent? Your goal is to find 3 to 5 people that want to know the real value of their house, so you can add them into your follow-up campaign, and when that home sells, and it sells for a premium, and there's 8 offers on the property, and 1 buyer's really happy, and 7 others are crying in their soup because they wrote an offer on another house and they didn't get, you now have 3 to 5 neighbors in the community to say, Sarah, Taz, I have 5 other properties of people that are interested, right? But they're not 100%. Why don't I go to them with an offer? Let's go to them with an offer, right? Well, offer, I haven't seen the house yet. I understand, but let's go and let's see where their interest lies. And then, of course, we'll get in, take a look at the home, we'll see if it all works out. If it works out, we could have a deal here. Like, that's the reality today, my friend. So we're doing these mega open houses to find all those neighbors in the marketplace, to find out who's interested in the value of their home, who's had any thoughts of selling, so we can win. And then when we meet everybody else, it's all those normal questions. So here's my 2 little bonus, right? My 2 little cool bonus things. Big shout out to Coach Eileen Rivera, who is been a client and a friend for, my goodness, I would say 24, 25 years. extraordinary agent from Long Beach, California. You saw her on the Tom Ferry Show. We did an interview with her on geographic farming. I was perusing some of our private Facebook pages, and she's always doing these innovative things, and this is something I saw recently. So Chaz, take a look at this. This is the best sign I've ever seen at the front door of her open house. So looking pictures, probably a little bit larger than that. Maybe, I'm guessing by the photo, it's 3.5, 4 feet high, right? So it's it's like to here, and it says, "Welcome to my open house. Look around, ask questions. See yourself living here. Fall in love, make an offer." The Rivera Group, and it's right at the front door. So as soon as you walk in, like, I know what I'm here to do. Like, it's very, welcome to my open house. Look around, ask questions, engage with me, right? Engage with me. See yourself living here, fall in love, make an offer. Boom. See, sometimes it's just the little things. It's the little things, right? But it's the little things that make you stand out, that separate you from the competition. The fact that they showed up and if their neighbors, there was food there, or there was 20 or 30 signs up, that they see that you're doing so much more than everybody else, that you're not the shadow agent hiding in the back of the house, but you're standing in the foyer saying, "Hi, my name is Eileen, and you're very nice to meet you. Tell me, do you live in the neighborhood? Like, how long are you filling for a home? What sites you looking at?" Like, we engage with people in a positive way. So I love this. Now, a lot of my clients are saying, "Tom, when I'm there, and whether I'm meeting with the neighbors or potential buyers of that property, we all have seller capital, whether it's from geographicfarm.com or any other site that you would use, right? But we have a vehicle now to give people the value of their home and capture their information. How are you using that at your open house? How are you using it? So here's what I'm telling my clients. I say to them, go ahead and have a retractable banner. Like, if you've been to a Tom Ferry event or any event, right? There are these banners, zip, and we open them up and it says, registration, arrow that way, come to Summit, it's over there. These retractable banners, $150, $200, maybe depending upon art and color. But what if you have this retractable banner that I want you to imagine is this tall, right? So I'm 6 foot, almost 6'1", so maybe it's like almost 7 feet tall. You take this thing out that says, curious about your home's real value, and we got a little graph that's showing this. This also could be like, photos of houses, right? Houses, and the dollar amounts are clearly going up. Simply type in your address, and below that, you've got a little table. And on that table, what do you have? 2 iPads, 3 iPads, opened up directly to your seller landing page, and all they have to do is type in their address. 54 Banana Street. Boom, enter. Oh, yes, Tom and Kathy Ferry. Yes, that's my house. Boom, valuation. I see it. And what are we really doing? We're capturing potential sellers. We're finding out who they are. We now have them in our drip campaign. This is a very low-cost strategy for you to start attracting potential sellers while you're doing your open house. Now, I did have somebody say to me recently, "Oh my God, Tom, if I had those iPads sitting there in my neighborhood, they would steal them." And my response was like, "I don't know, maybe you should like sell houses somewhere else." Like, I don't know, but do what Apple does. Like, Apple has them all like, to like a wire or a chain or whatever. I mean, if that's what you have to do that. But don't have that stop you from capturing potential seller leads while you're doing your open house. That could just be sitting in the corner. Listen, here's what's coming soon. You know what's coming soon. Like, read the book Bold, B-O-L-D, by Peter Diamandis. Extraordinary book about exponential growth and where everything is going. I'm fascinated by this, by AI technology and just all these cool things. Like, here's what's going to happen in the future. I'm going to walk into your open house and a robot is going to roll up to me and say, "Hello, welcome to," and it's already going to probably just scan my face, pull up my Facebook profile and say, "Hello, Tom, is Kathy, Michael, and Stephen with you today?" Like, that's what's coming. And I have people stopping me and saying, "I'm not sure if I can put an iPad, at my appointment. I'm not sure if on my open house." So play with me. It's April. We're going into May. This is the time. Big shout out to my friends at Berkshire Hathaway Georgia Properties. They had something like 350 open houses in the month of March and killed it. They had billboard signs, Facebook ads running everywhere, thousands and thousands of people through, thousands of seller leads captured because they just took this on and said, we're just going to do it. Not just as an individual like you, but as an entire company. So for anybody that's watching, big shout out to that group, pretty extraordinary. So, stop, think. You're gonna spend 3, 4, 5 hours at an open house. Why not maximize the opportunity? Don't do another open house where you sit in the back of the house, turn the football game on, and hope and pray that somebody shows up. And you get that weird, odd person walking through the house every now and then. Like, let's make it a party. Let's make it an event. Because they're judging you and watching you, assessing, are you the agent of choice? And you can be that agent every time by following this strategy. So, thanks so much for watching. Remember always, your strategy matters. And now more than...
What do you think of Tom Ferry's strategies? Good. One of the questions I ask people when they come into an open house is, what brought you into my open house? And a lot of times that's when they'll give you the hint if they're buyers or sellers. They may say, I saw it on Zillow. If they saw it on Zillow, then you know they're out looking for houses. This way you can determine if they're buyers or sellers. Any questions about open houses? No questions. Yes.
I mean, I just, like, the open houses I've done, there's never been a ton of people out there. There's been a good amount, but
Okay.
most of them are always represented by an agent.
There are, a lot are. Do you door knock a lot of houses before you go in?
I do not.
Okay, so that's where you're going to get those people who aren't represented. Yeah, most open houses today, people come in, they're realtors, or they come in and they say, just want to let you know my realtor told me to come in today, but Jim McGill's representing me, and we usually respect that. But if you were to go knock on the doors, hand out pamphlets, I always hand out a minimum of 100 houses, so I go from my house, from the open house, I usually go about 100 houses around. Those people typically are not represented yet, but they may have in their mind thinking that they may want to sell their house, especially when they see their neighbors up the street go for a little higher than they expected the houses in the neighborhood. So it may prompt them to be sellers. So I think you'll find more that way than the people that come into the open house. I remember the first couple open houses I did, I hated them. I really did. I used to put the football game, I watched football, and I had 1 or 2 people come in, and it was horrible. It was a waste of time, but I did it just because I had to do open houses. Until I decided if I'm going to sit here and waste my time for 2 hours, it better not be a wasting time. My time is too valuable. So I truly do put as many signs out as I can. I knock on 100 doors. I don't put anything on Facebook for my Thursdays. I actually keep my Thursday mega open houses for the neighbors. When I do an open house on a Sunday, that's when I'll put it on Facebook. I'll send that out to my clients. I'll also flyer for my Sundays. I'll flyer them also. Shoot, I'm a little under the weather today. So don't waste your time if you're going to do them and just sit there. Really be purposeful.
Well, your Thursday opens, what time do you do them? Do you do
5 to 7.
5 to 7.
I do 5 to 7. And I typically bring sandwiches. I bring white wine. I bring beer. I do not bring cases of beer. I don't bring 20 bottles of wine. I'm not there to get people drunk. I do not bring red wine. I only bring white wine. I don't want anybody spilling wine. I try to have it relaxed, a spot put in the kitchen on the big countertop. We can stand and talk around as we're drinking the wine. For my Sunday open houses, sometimes I'll have mimosas and some little muffins or something, Nothing crazy. I don't spend a lot of money, but I do spend a couple dollars for them.
So when you are putting your signs out, 2 questions. One, how early do you get your signs out? This is primarily your weekend opens.
Mhm.
And if you are putting your sign on by the curb of someone, do you knock on the door and say, hey, how you doing?
So I used to put my signs out the night before, but a lot of townships now are complaining about signs. I wake up truly at 3 or 4 o'clock every day. So I just wait till the morning. 5 o'clock, I'm out putting signs, and when the open house is over, I'm taking them in. I'm leaving them out as short as possible. I'd rather them to be out the night before, so more traffic sees them. But with the townships complaining and giving us fines nowadays for signs, I don't have time to go get a permit every time I have an open house, and that's what they want you to do now. So I go out early in the morning. So anyone who's driving around that day, especially Sundays, Sunday people get out, they go to Wawa, they go to church, they go wherever they may go. You know, hopefully they'll see them while they're driving around and stop by the open house.
Do you have the times of the open on your directionals?
I do not, no.
What about,
Because they always change.
do you put,
Yeah.
have the, like a rider with the time of the?
Oh, on my sign? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the
I
house I
think
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are they all, the 20 and 30 signs that you're putting out, are they all directional signs?
yes.
So,
Just a little arrow with my name, you know, my name, Keller Williams, on it, open house, and the direction which I would drive
to the
towards
next
that.
side.
Yeah, yeah. Now, there's a lot of times I can't put 20, believe me.
Yeah,
You know,
because in
10.
certain neighborhoods, you,
I would say the average, probably 10, and in some neighborhoods, that's even hard. But just go out another couple blocks, you know? It only takes an extra 10 minutes to put up a couple more signs, you know?
where do you buy your signs?
Signs by tomorrow, that happen to be on 420 right around the corner from me.
Get the best prices.
Yeah, the prices seem good too, but they're literally 2 blocks from my house, so it's nice and convenient for me.
Signs by?
Signs by tomorrow, yes.
And it's a store, not a online?
It's a big store, so it's right in Morton, on 420 and Yale Avenue.
Okay, thank you.
It comes with the frame also.
Well, you have to tell them, you can just buy the, like if you want to just buy inserts, like for our signs, you can buy them from there, but these come with the frames, because of directionals.
And
Yeah.
they're out in kind of sizes?
The same as ours. Yeah, I just use the same typical sign that we have, yeah, nothing bigger than that. They're usually big enough. If you were to work in the city of Philadelphia, you'd want yours to be standalone signs, because there's not a lot of spots to put them, so you have to have a standalone that sits on the corner, that's on concrete, not a lot of grass in the city. Yeah. Some things, especially for your younger agents or people who are a lot more tech savvy than me, I still have not figured out how to do an avatar for Facebook. But if I was going to sell a house in Fishtown today, Norristown, areas where it seems like the youth are migrating to, I would do an avatar. I would not be doing a Facebook ad sending it to 60 and 70-year-olds. I would try to set that avatar to 20, 30, 35-year-olds so that you're capturing the right people for the area. I don't know how to do that yet, but maybe one of my kids can show me one of these days how to do that. I do have a Fishtown listing coming, and I'm going to try to do it for that Fishtown listing.
Do you know what your conversion rate of open houses is?
I don't. I can tell you when I first learned this mega open house was a Springfield list. It was a Springfield listing. It was the first one I did it on, and I sold it that day. So I was thrilled. Now I've only sold maybe 4 on that first night since I've been doing this. But you know, I know a lot of people know now I'm a realtor because of it. I don't know the actual number for it, but I have absolutely picked up buyers and sellers from my open houses. I mean, probably, I would say an average of 3 or 4 a year I pick up from my open houses. Yeah. So, and I don't do a whole lot of listings. I mean, I probably only have maybe 20 a year, 20 to 24 a year. So if I can pick up 4 or 5 buyers from that, you know, it's good.
So I noticed that
Yes.
you have the.
So you can, listen, I was just out in New Orleans and I have a cousin who's very wealthy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So there's 10 of us in here. He's probably got more money than all of us, unless everyone here has over $1 million. He's probably worth about $20 million. And he said to us the other day, he said, listen, I'm not real smart. He said, I got common sense and I work harder than anybody. So I feel the same way. I work hard, and I'll copy off for someone who's successful. Tom Ferry, he knows what he's doing. I have this, and I have the other sign also. The one that it's right in my office. I bring an easel and I put it there. You know, this isn't a brand new industry. This industry's been around for a long time, and people have done it before me, learned a whole lot, and been very successful. Learn from them.
So going back to this sign, do you have iPads or do you have a
I have a
sign?
computer. I have a
Okay.
computer that I live in.
And does everybody?
Not everybody, but some. I don't allow anyone to go without signing in.
Okay.
If you don't sign in, I issue you.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't mean some people don't sneak by me. I'm not like a Nazi standing there like, you know. But I do tell them, you know, for my client requests for safety purposes, everybody signs in. They want to know who's coming in and out of their house. So while we're talking about that, let's do two things. Safety. If you could get someone to do an open house with you, I would suggest it. I'm not scaring anyone, believe me, it doesn't happen much, but if you can have somebody else with you, it's always a good idea. The other thing is, when I first started in real estate, we would always tell people, keep all their valuables, their any guns, ammunition, any weapons, cash, jewelry, put it away. In today's world, we had to add narcotics. So you will have people come in, act like a husband or wife. The husband or wife will try to distract you in the basement, in the kitchen, wherever, while the other one sneaks up. I'm going to go look upstairs. And the first place to go is into the bathroom, open up medicine cabinets, and see if there's any narcotics. Drugs in this world, as we all know, are horrible. And they'll do whatever they can to get them. So I now tell my clients I added drugs to the list of things to put away.
Can I add, it's not just put away, it's locked up.
Oh, yeah, put it away so nobody can find it.
Yeah.
Now, you're doing something wrong if they're up there searching too long, right? You've got to be always worried, thinking about where people are, right? Don't let people up there for 20 minutes. Something's going on if they're up there that long and the husband's still downstairs with you. Just say, excuse me, let's go upstairs. You know, we'll go upstairs and look at the upstairs while we're here. And if they say, well, let's do it together, I'd rather you and your wife be together with me instead of explaining it twice, if you're worried. Yeah, so I mean, open houses are a great thing. It's sweat equity. It doesn't cost you much. You know, your time is, I know it's valuable, but that's a good way to get leads and get buyers, get sellers.
And when
get your name out there.
When you have an open house and you have unrepresented folks come in, do you follow up within 24 hours?
I follow. When I leave, I typically send them something.
Okay.
Yes. Everyone who comes through, I send a letter, thank you. If I have their email address, I'll just do an email. If I actually get their address, a lot of people won't put their address, they'll put their name, phone number, and email. If they put their address, I'll send them all a personal card. But anyone who came in unrepresented, I will call them when I leave and just thank them for coming through. If there's anything I can do, please give me a call. Yeah, you don't want to let that go. Because what happens if, say it was just something they started thinking about, and now they're getting a little more ramped up, you don't want to give them the time to call Aunt Sally, who they weren't thinking of at the time. You want to capture them right away.
What kind of documentation do we have to have? The seller disclosure?
At the open house?
Yes.
Yes, so I have a copy of the seller's property disclosure with me. I usually bring a couple copies, but I keep one in a book there that stays and never leaves. So when the people come through during the week, that's there, yeah. And you can, print up a nice flyer with the specifics, the address, the school district, the price, square footage, how many bedrooms, and maybe 4 or 5 pictures.
And we can attach some business card.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can do it through copies. You can actually just staple that to the top or the bottom, and you don't have to get real creative with that. Another thing I do for some clients, similar to this, but this is after a sale has occurred. So I just closed a deal last week, and it was between the house selling and the purchase, it was $900,000. It was a little odd situation. So it was a 56 to 58-year-old mother, her son, daughter-in-law, and a child. So the son is like 30. And I know he's got loads of friends through the conversations we had. So as a gift, I offered to host their housewarming party. So they took me up on it. So this costs some money though. So I will bring 4 or 5 bottles of wine, 2 cases of beer. I will bring sandwiches, and I will bring some salads. I'm not feeding 100 people. I'm bringing enough to start their party. They will bring other stuff. Because I'm going to be in front of 30 or 40 30-year-olds who friend just bought a house and they're very happy with. It's a great way to get more clients. I have cups, so I bring cups, and my cups are monogrammed, has my name on it and my real estate phone number and all that kind of stuff. It's probably going to cost me $200, which seems like a lot, but at $800 or $900 that I sold them. I made $20-some thousand, so it's not a lot of money. And I am guaranteed that you're gonna get somebody out of that. Because you don't wanna do with somebody who's not happy with you. You wanna make sure these people were very happy with you, so that they can talk you up. And you'll have a great audience in front of you. And it's personal, it's one-on-one, you're drinking a couple of beers with them, and you're just walking around like one of their friends. And they'll be, they'll introduce me. I will ask them to have like a sheet there if anyone wants to put their name and phone number and email address, so I have all that contact information. And I'll do it for about 2 hours and I'll leave. I'm not there to stay for 6 hours and, interrupt their party. But I want to be there, be introduced to their friends, and introduce myself.
And what about COVID regulations today?
For the house,
Yeah.
so the party, I don't have to do anything, right? That's a party, I can do whatever I want there, it's their party, right?
No.
But for the
Just-
open houses,
Yeah.
the open houses, I do
You
have,
have this forms?
I do have, well, you have to keep a list of anyone who went through the property, you have to keep that. I do keep a couple hand sanitizers, I do have a box of masks for anyone who wants to wear a mask. If my client insists, and I ask my client, do you want people to wear a mask? If she said yes, then I ensure that everyone wears a mask. That's it. Right now, we're not asking for cards. If the state asks us to do that, we will have to do that. I just said I was in New Orleans, and to go into anywhere I went, I had to show my card, go back to that card. Now, when I tell you they could have said Mickey Mouse, they didn't care. They just saw that there was a card on my phone that I took a picture of, and that you. But if the state says we have to do that, then we'll have to do that. Yeah. But you definitely want to ask your client in this environment what their requests are. I don't make anyone wear a mask, but if they want me to, I will. I'm not wear one. Yeah. And I also have booties for everyone for most houses. It just looks professional. Someone's not walking around. They don't track anything into the house. So I have booties there all the time.
Jim, do you show up, 30 minutes
Oh, no.
before, just to make sure that?
I'm there probably 45 minutes to an hour before. Yeah. Open windows if it's nice out, spring day. You want to open up blinds and shades. You want to make sure that the sun's coming in. Make sure toilet seats are put down. You want to make sure beds are made. A couple times I had to make people's beds. I don't like doing that, but I don't want them. Yeah, I don't want them walking upstairs and first thing they see the toilet seat up and bedrooms unmade. You don't want that. You want to make sure everything looks spotless when you get there. Sometimes I run it back. It's about an hour before I go. Yeah. Like I said, if you don't want to waste your time, if you want to do it purposefully, or don't do it, because you're just wasting your time if you're not being purposeful about it. More questions? Comments? Nothing? Who's going to watch some YouTube videos today? I hope. You can learn a lot, you really can. There's a lot of scripts out there. I know we give them to you also, but there's some that may just gel with you. You hear something and you think, oh, that's perfect for me. Don't be a secret agent. Signs. You want them all over the place. Knocking on doors. I hand them a flyer. If they don't answer, I just roll it up and I put it, under their door, in their door handle, or I open the door and squeeze it in there. Don't put it in the mailboxes. It's against the federal postal code. And have fun. They can be fun open houses. They don't have to be boring. You can make them fun.
You have any open houses coming up?
I was waiting for somebody to ask that.
Not yet, but I will. When I do, I will call you. Somebody else asked me, so I will call both of you. I have a house coming up in Springfield. I'm not sure how quick they're going to be. I have one in right off of Fairview Road. That should be a little sooner. And then I have one in Wallingford for a little while. So I don't have any listings right now. I actually had a good last 2 months, but now I'm a little slow. It's a little nerving right now. But yes,
Do you always do an open house, or do you?
not always, but I do a lot.
You keep it
I
on
do a
the
lot.
market for, it's on the MLS for
Yeah. So what I
a while.
typically do.
When do you decide to do it?
Yeah, so this is what I do. If I'm going to have an open house on a house, and I do a lot of them. Some of them, it's not. You might be in Collingdale, a $80,000 home, $100,000. I may not do one there. I just saw my cousins in Collingdale, so I use Collingdale. But I know Tom Ferry said, you want to see it before anyone else can. I actually list it on Thursday, and then have my mega open house that night, just for compliance reasons. I don't want to be showing that house without it being available in the market. So even though I knock on doors and invite all the neighbors, you cannot tell somebody else not to come in. So if someone comes in, it's hard to know that you didn't invite them, but you want to make sure everyone's invited. You don't want to select a certain few. Anyone who comes that day, you have to allow them to the open house. So I always list it Thursday, have the mega open house Thursday night, Sunday do a typical open house. Yeah. But I do open houses on almost all my properties. So in this market, a lot of people stopped doing it because we were selling homes so quick. But remember, the objective is to get another lead. It's not really to sell that home. And you don't want to say that to your client, but your objective is to get another lead. So even in a market like today, you want to hold open houses. Because if it sells quick, it sells quick. But if you can get somebody else to list their house, then you can sell that quick. And the same, keep doing it. That's where you'll be successful. A lot of agents like to give their open houses away. I give some away, but not too many. I mean, I want to, continue. I always do my own Thursdays. I'll give some of my Sundays away. But Thursdays I do by myself. We'll bring somebody with me. Yeah. And it's always a good, if it's a bigger house, you want to bring somebody, especially for the Thursday night ones. You invited a lot of people. You have some food and all. You want to make sure nobody's, grabbing 6 beers and nobody getting drunk on you, right? Unless they have a checkbook with them.
And if I could just throw this in, I don't know, I don't think Jim is necessarily in this camp, but there are some agents in here who, if you, to put it bluntly, if you don't come into the office and they don't know you, it's going to be hard for them to give you their open house.
Correct.
Because people want to know who is sitting in their open house. So all the time I'm telling you guys, come on in, so you can get to know the top listing agents in here. Because
listen, I'm going to be a little worried about giving you an open house if I don't ever see you. I see certain people come in every day. I know they're serious, and I'm going to give them it before I give it to somebody else.
And I've received phone calls from agents saying, I need somebody to cover an open house. I don't want somebody who's not, in it to win it.
Yeah.
So
That's everything in life, right? Yeah, you gotta be dedicated to do it if you want to be successful and expect someone to help you. You gotta show some kind of, commitment before they'll, give you that opportunity. But if I'm doing my own open houses and someone wants a shadow, I don't care if I've ever seen you. You're more than welcome. But to do an open house when I'm not going to be there, I want to make sure you're really serious about it. Anything else? Questions? Nothing. Any questions outside of open houses? It doesn't have to be open houses. Anything at all about real estate? No.
it's a great hour, Jim. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Sorry, I know it was